If you see in this project, we are going to see some of the best practices. For example, best practices that we will apply in this particular project is we will have a single bootstrap file which will load rest of the Spring config file. We will also see how actually properties files are used in order to externalize properties, especially configuration properties like data source, JMS, JNDI, so that we can make our uh, you say beans more reusable, and we can populate values externally instead of going and changing the configuration file every time. Apart from that, we will also see how we are using this class path in order to ensure that we are able to reach to the right resource, which is also one of the best practices. Now let's start with the beginning. What we did here is we created a class test main, and here we are taking JDBC template in order to display data source properties. This is as simple as that. Now in order to do that, instead of writing everything in a single file, we have created two files here. One is spring.xml, which contains data source property, and second one is bootstrap.xml, where we are importing spring.xml in order to provide the resources, right? Now here what happens is advantage that we get is bootstrap.xml. If you are importing or taking external files, it makes your application more reusable, decoupled with a rest of the context. Second important thing that we have done here is we are using jdbc.properties file, where we are creating data driver class name, and we are populating rest of the properties apart from username, password and everything, and then we are trying to import it in spring.xml file, where we are using property placeholder configurer. Now this property placeholder configurer points to location, which is our jdbc.properties file, which contains all properties, and we access those properties by using dollar symbol and curly braces, right? So in this way you are able to externalize the property. Now if I'll execute this program, you'll find that test main picks up the import, takes up the resources, and also loads all configuration files which are imported in bootstrap, and as per logic it displays the name of the data source that we are using. This is what is one of the best practices, set of best practices that we have applied to our project.